This is the first time I've been in Toronto, Canada, the city where I was born and raised, in more than 2.5 years, like 3 years it's been. And I wanted to just document how it feels to be here after living abroad as a digital nomad, as an expat, and how it is to check in here after the whole pandemic situation and all that sort of stuff. It's my grandmother's 96th birthday today, and that's the reason why I came today. And she doesn't know I'm coming, and my parents are taking her to a restaurant now, and I'm gonna surprise her. So let's do that, and then I'll get into the topic. Let's go. Happy birthday.
This is such a surprise. I love you all. Oh, you love me. And you came just for my birthday.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, this is...
Okay, folks, so it's my last day here, and I'm finally getting around to making this video. And it's about 6 in the morning. I'm going to coffee at Starbucks. And then I'm going to gym to work out, because it's really important to keep the routine and work out at least 2 times a week while I'm on the road. I already went on Tuesday. Yeah, the two overarching things for this trip that have made me pretty miserable are winter and jet lag. And so it's probably around freezing right now, or -2 or something like that. And I just hate it, and I'm up early because of the jet lag as well, of course. I came all the way from Asia, so it's like a 12-hour jet lag that I've literally been battling with the whole week, sleeping at really weird times, waking up and being fully awake at like 2:30 in the morning and stuff like that. But the number one thing I wanted to discuss is winter. This shit is miserable. Now, human beings are very adaptable, and people adapt to lots of things, and people for, many, many generations in the northern hemisphere, where my ancestors in Europe come from, here in North America, got used to this. But me, having opted out mostly of this, experiencing it for a few days, I'm viewing this as a sort of mental illness, that people would want to live in this type of climate. Like, my hands are literally freezing right now as I'm making this video for you, and everything that I want to buy from the store, it's a chore just to go and sort of like it's 6 in the morning, there's no hint of sunlight coming up, and I don't know, I'm starting to see that it's like some sort of mental illness to want to live in a place this winter, or will be viewed in the future. Just like when I started my business years ago as a digital nomad, it was like some sort of, seemed like a mental illness that people would have to go to an office to work. And now the world has come around to sort of like see my perspective over the last 2-3 years. Living in a place that's cold like this, I do not enjoy it personally. I think that the people who do claim to enjoy it are in complete denial. And I'm going to stop this video right now and pick this up in the next shot, because my hand is so damn cold right now. And I'm almost at the place where I'm going to grab some coffee. Alright, so more thoughts in the next shot. Okay, here we are, folks. I'm back inside. This is the view from my Airbnb. You can see the iconic CN Tower there, the symbol of Toronto. And I'm in the Annex neighborhood now on St. George. And my grandmother lives in one of those buildings over there. So it was great to see her and spend time with her. Those who know me know that I like, filming on the street so you can see what's going on around me when I'm doing it. But today I'm inside because it's too damn cold. So here we are. What are my impressions of Toronto as a city? Are the reasons that I decided to become an expat and leave this place still valid? And do I want to spend time here in the future, and how much? So, the first thing is I haven't been in a country like this for any long length of time for years now. So 3 years. I've mostly been in, places like Thailand, Serbia, Mexico, developing countries where I live a very interesting and vibrant lifestyle with the local culture, and the differences being a plus. And, coming back to this place where everybody's this success-driven Western person, like I am, I suppose, still, even though I decided to take a more artistic path, and what came out of that in my life was starting a business with remote working that actually made me quite successful. So it's really interesting to see how much wealth there is here, especially in, this neighborhood, this part of Toronto, the Annex, and, the neighborhood I grew up in, which is Moore Park. And yeah, it's sterile and boring. Like, wealthy people can be very boring people a lot of the time, especially the ones who just got super competitive, wanted to get a good job, and then just followed, for example, became a doctor who works 12-hour shifts, many days a week, and, just followed the money and that sort of stuff. And this city and its sort of like Puritan Protestant work ethic that it's sort of like, that's ingrained in the culture, really reeks of that boring culture. And this is one of the main things I had to leave to find a life that was more artistic. But the city does come alive. Like, I was sitting with a friend of mine, Michael, yesterday, Michael Lewis Johnson, who, he's one of the guys I met here in the music scene in around, I met him in 2007. I actually met him in Serbia at the Gucci Trumpet Festival. And coming back here, and they've made a lot of progress in building a scene of culture, of music, of live music, of international music and stuff like that here. And it's very good to see. But I decided a long time ago that I wanted a life that was so international, just staying in my home country wasn't going to cut it, despite how international this home city of mine is, for me to become who I wanted to be as an expat. As a person, even, like, for me to even like be the person I am today, it took a lot of traveling around the different cultures. It took a lot of embracing the Balkan European culture of the city of Belgrade and the Central European culture, where the two meet in the city of Belgrade, and making that a part, reinforcing whatever was naturally in that from my Central European roots, and letting that just define who I am. And, I'm through that journey now, and now living in Thailand, which is another sort of thing. And I have to say that people in Canada are just not as warm as people in Serbia or Thailand, especially in Thailand. Then there's the winter thing. I've complained about that in this video already extensively. So I'll just say that my mental and physical health is better when I don't have to wear shoes, when I can exercise outside, go for long walks without shivering and all that sort of stuff, when I can wear shorts everywhere. So that's a major lifestyle decision. What this trip really enforced in me is how grateful I am to have the upbringing as a child that I had here, in a stable place, without problems like a lot of the world have with, poverty and infrastructure and violence, political upheavals, and all that sort of stuff. This place is the place for everybody who wants to get away from all that chaos in the world. This place provides you the surefire thing for your perfect little middle class life. And I've always, said that I just couldn't follow that script. It was too easy, and I needed more from life, and I got more from life. So now that I got more for life, that I'm, turning 40 in the next few months, like, I don't have a resentment towards this place like I did when I was like 24 and discovering Eastern Europe, and then coming back here and seeing how much less fun life was here, how much worse my romantic prospects were here, how much lower the food quality was here, how much less walkable and vibrant the cities were here. And so I felt a lot of resentment, but I don't feel that anymore. I feel gratefulness for the friends and family that I was able to catch up with on this trip and reconnect with my childhood, with my grandmother, 96 years old. You saw it. She was so happy to see me. And yeah, basically, I'm grateful to have grown up here, but I don't want to live here because the rest of the world and the life that I created for myself in the rest of the world with my online business supportive venture, it just, it still offers so much more opportunity to, first of all, not have to freeze my nuts off every winter, but also to explore different cultures, to lead a life that's unique and beautiful, and just not be another person in the freaking rat race trying to buy a condo. And another thing that became clear to me on this trip is that my generation is kind of struggling a bit here with stuff like buying housing and stuff like that. And there's sort of a maplessness to my generation, and I filled my life with so much meaning and glory and interesting experiences, character building experiences. And a lot of my friends who stayed here haven't done as much of that. But that's what it is, It is what it is. I was the more adventurous one. I had to go out into the world. It's not that they have bad lives or boring lives or anything like that. It's just I went off the beaten path and went out to find a life that was more rewarding in many ways than if I would have stayed here. So yeah, Toronto, Canada, worth a visit, folks. If you aren't from here, and if you are from here, tell me what you think about the place if you've lived abroad. I mean, obviously me being born here and half my family being immigrants is a very different situation than, for example, if I was born in another country, or if I was born here and both of my parents were immigrants from the same other country and stuff like that. It's all different perspectives that we have, but the world out there was calling me and I had to do that. Yeah, it's really interesting, and it's really damn expensive here as well. The value for money in other countries is much better. So yeah, the cost, the weather, the quality of the food, all sort of like still big issues that would make me seriously think twice about making a home here. Seriously think twice about actually committing to be here more than just a few days a year. But I feel like a lot of the panic and trauma and the resentment I felt for this place has now evaporated with work on myself and success that I found outside. And it's been a very good trip, except for the cold and the jet lag. So thanks for watching, folks. This is Rising Nomad. If you like the channel, talking about the deeper expat experiences like I did in this video and a lot of other videos, subscribe to our channel. And yeah, I'm heading today to Serbia, which is the place where I've lived most as an expat until now, but just for 3 days to take care of some business there, sublet an apartment I rent, and sign some documents and stuff like that. Then I'm heading back to Thailand, and then I'm going to get going with my music project, Erik and the Worldly Savages, the reboot of it, with the new musicians I've chosen to work with, and we'll be playing in Thailand. So thanks a lot. I'll catch you later.